Welcome to the Daily Stretch. I'm your host, Cassie with a Y. Today's class is for increased core and ab strength. So we'll be focusing on your entire core all the way around. And even though I'll be standing, much of this class can easily be performed seated. So try following along with as much as possible, standing and then eventually on the floor. You'll be sitting, just sit when necessary so that you can gradually become stronger. And even though we aren't necessarily working the feet today, please consider removing your shoes. This will be a really nice, gradual way to condition your feet into supporting your weight and the proper ankle position. You know, our feet have muscles just like the rest of our body, and if they're not used, they atrophy and they get weak. So we have to use your feet the way they're designed. Have something cushy under your feet if you are taking your shoes off and you have tender feet. But remember that a cushion, a pad, can make your balance feel a little off. Okay, so now let's just start stretching. But before we get too far into this, please take a moment to invite a friend and then ring that little bell at the top to be notified of whenever we do any more lives. Not that we're going to be doing any more this week, but I'm not saying I won't do any more in the future. Tell me where you're watching from, and please take a moment to hit the thumbs up and the share. I know that's a lot of work, but that really helps me to continue doing all this stuff. All right, so we're warming up your core. We're squeezing your hind end, tucking that tailbone under a bit, and then a little press and a pull. Not a lot of force. It's mostly a stretch, okay? So I am doing a little tuck, gentle. I'm not doing a strong squeeze, and I'm pushing away and pulling, pushing away and pulling. Let's go a little further to one side. I do have a chair handy. Sometimes I find it really helpful to hang on to it during certain moves. So all of this so far could have been done seated. So if you are a person that really needs to sit for the majority of class, do so. All right, and over. Pull in your stomach. Let's hold it here a moment. Inhale, exhale. Good, let's do the other side. Reaching over the head, a little bend of the knee. Let your neck and face turn, and a stretch 2 different ways. Good. All right, let's lean it over a little bit and arch the back. So from the side, I was like this, and then I pushed on my legs, and you see how I could stick out the chest more and pull up the tailbone, the lower spine. All right, relax, and a gentle tug on the back of the legs, reaching across. A little extra tug behind one leg. Inhale, exhale, and a little extra tug behind the other leg. Slide it down. And the other way. Slide it down. Good. Rolling up, pulling in your stomach. Okay, now pull it in, lift the ribs, pull in flat as much as you can. Pull. Squeeze your butt and your gut together and make like a sandwich. Pull it in. Lift your ribs and pull in. Pull. Pull it in, hold. This is a vacuum hold, just doing it in a standing position. Pull it in. Trying to activate as many core muscles as possible all the way around. Okay, by tucking your tailbone under a little bit, you'll be able to activate and make sure that these lower abdominals are also working. Still pulling in, push, make sure everything's contracted. And now a little bit to the left while you're pulling in, a little bit to your right, over to the side, over to the side. So the only things that are really tight right now is pulling in the stomach and your bottom. We're not going very far over. And now release everything. Exhale. And the other way. Good. Over. And over. All right, so let's do some smooth swings left and right. And as you do this, let that elbow come up, stretching the ribs a little more. And then pull. Good. And then pull. Stomach's in. And then pull. Push. Or you're like pushing with your hands, but pushing and pulling at the same time. Squeezing your core, pulling in your belly. Okay, it's almost like you're pulling a really hard window shade down and it's really tough. Good. Other side. Activate these muscles, pull it in. Now push. Good. And relax. Lift. Circle right from your shoulder. Have nice straight elbows. Bend those wrists. Push to the sky. Circle from the shoulder. Push. Other side. Reach it up. Circle. Pull in your stomach. All right. And a little shift and a shift. Work the neck too. Actually, we're stretching it mostly. Good. Now reach it back. Look to your left. Your right. Bend that wrist. Let that arm go. Lift that shoulder. Extend it down. Lift and extend. Other side. Looking to your left this time. Lift the shoulder. Let it down. Lift and down. Arm up. Bend that wrist. Couple circles. Stomach's in. Head and neck are up over the top. Good. All right. Hug the barrel. Elbows are high. And I'd like you to widen those legs. It's kind of like a big beach ball, and you need this space in front of your body, right? So we round, hollow out the front, and move one knee, elbow to knee, elbow to knee. My pictures are trembling on the wall. Just pull your stomach in to support your spine. And now sweep and sweep. Good. Arms out. I'm going to scoot this over. So if you're seated in the chair, you can sit nice and wide, or sit towards the front with your legs nice and wide. Arms are horizontal. Reach and reach. Now notice that as we reach and lean, we're not doing this yet. And my knees aren't going anywhere, okay? I'm not doing that. I'm extending and reaching through the sides. Let's do it and hold. All right, now one arm up, one arm down. This is a strong core move. Let's put that hand behind your leg. Open the chest. Whenever you angle your body, your core has to support that structure. I think one of the hardest things we have to do is cleaning the tub from the outside. Okay, you've got to, your feet and legs are on the outside of the tub and you're reaching, all the way across and down in. That's a lot of core work. All right, hang on. Down and up. Down and up. All right, so from here, I'd like you to put your toes in a little bit forward and pull your stomach in, and we'll just lean over. Now, it's just physics, right? If you're going to go forward with your upper body, a little bit has to move backwards, so that would be the butt. We're using a flat back. Now don't mistake, like sometimes people round their back, but they arch their neck. That's not a flat back. Stick your chest out and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Open those arms. Now a lot of you have tight hamstrings, and this is really uncomfortable because of your tight hamstrings. You can do this in a chair. Make sure your knees are bent to relieve your hamstrings. Now let's relax everything. Down to the floor. We'll roll up with a lift. Arms are wide. Over. A little bend in the back of the knee. Do you see this is the back of the knee as opposed to the knee going forward? Lift by squeezing your shoulder blades together. Now I call these core angels. We're going to bring one arm forward, one arm back. Squeeze the back to lift the arms. Again, some of you need to come up a little bit, okay? I don't want to be seeing the tops of your heads and your chest collapse. Maybe come up a little bit so that you can control this. Okay, we're switching arms. One arm forward, one arm back, stomach's in. You could also put one foot back. That might give you a little relief to control the back a little better. All right, let's reach across. Stretch that neck. We'll do a little bit more of those. All right, turn, reach across, and relax the neck again. Okay, so right at the end there, I made a suggestion where you do a little step back, so it's not quite so intense on your hamstrings. Stomach's in, sit it back, arms are wide, squeeze the back, squeeze the back. We need this angle so that we can work the upper back, challenge your core. Now I'm moving one arm forward, one arm back, lift, lift and switch. Stomach's in. All right, and we'll relax everything now. Nice exhale. Big, big, big inhale. All right, shake it off. Now this next move can also be done seated. We've done it numerous times seated in the chair. You just make really wide legs, okay? And turn your toes. All right, nice big, I think this is a type of warrior pose from yoga. But notice, to get lower, you have a couple options. Your knee can either go forward, which is kind of hard on your knee, or you can move this leg back to keep your knee above your ankle. All right. Now don't move the leg while you do this. You will have to stretch through the thigh and through your upper body and through here. So this is a great core move. Now, pull the stomach in. We're going to make things heavier. Stomach's in. Push that foot into the floor. It makes it easier, sort of, by recruiting more muscles into the work. Stomach's in. Pretty angle with your head and neck. Try not to let it hang. Now, can you get a little lower? Reach, reach. Work that leg and up. All right, let's go the other way. Let's turn your foot out to get low. I mean, you could be up higher, that's fine. Just keep your knee above your ankle. If you want to get lower, scoot this leg out. All right, arms are wide. Stretch that thigh. Stretch it. Keep your shoulders in alignment. Don't turn one towards the floor. Reach it, reach it, reach it. push that foot into the floor. This is helping you. Oh, okay. Like 9 o'clock or 3, I'm not sure. And over. Get a little lower and push. My carpet is slippery. I almost did the splits. All right, so shake it off a little bit, swing that leg. All right, then we're gonna go down to the floor. I should just take this off the wall. All right. All right, lift one knee and then the other. I think I am going to pull this off the wall. It is a vibrating, probably not very fun to listen to if my mic is picking it up. All right, we're getting a whole new road out here still. All right, stomach's in. We're going to start sitting down into a squat and up. Sit it down. My legs are fairly close together. You know, I never said anything. If you're new, you can always type in new in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from. For those of you who aren't familiar with me, here I'm going to step forward. These classes here on Facebook are really not the main thing I do. I have a fitness center in Spring Green where I teach these classes to, people right in the same room. Let's do the other leg. And then we record the classes and we put them up on a website that's dedicated to the classes. It's called movewithcassie.com, and you can buy a subscription to it and get movement tutorials. You can get 2 kinds of classes, all seated or all non-seated, as well as other special instructions. And then here on Facebook there is a 30-day trial on the sign up button, because I won't be doing them here on Facebook forever. All right, a couple more of these. And one more. Doesn't that feel good? All right, let's do a couple more of the side-to-side squats and then we'll get all the way to the ground. All right. I'm curious how many of you are members of a gym. And I ask that because, of course, I own a gym, but I come across many people that would never go into a gym. And they've got, their own reasons, intimidation, or it's just not their thing. But many of them that would never go into a gym do come in for these classes, and so I'm really appreciative. But if you would never go into a gym, you have the option of going to movewithcassie.com. But I would like to hear your reasoning. All right. So now we've got our toes forward, our knees are nice and wide, our chest is leaning forward, and once again, your core has to support you on this angle. Okay? And our hind ends are working. I'm going to show you from the side. I'm sitting down with this hip. This thigh has to do all the work. Let's go the other way. And you see how I have to angle my torso forward so that my weight can go back over my heel. If you're trying to do this, sit it up like this, it won't work. You'll hurt your knee. So you push through your heel, and then it activates your glutes and your hips to do the work instead of your knee. All right, stomach's in. All right, let's go down to the floor and do some more core work. So we'll start rounding our way down, bending the knees. As your heels start to come up, reach for the floor. Maybe you need to come back up and work your way down slowly. Loosen up slowly instead of all at once. That's all right. We'll do that. Down and up. And down. Do as many times as you need to. Don't be rushed. All right, so we're on our hands and knees. We have our toes under us. In fact, let's actually put the tops of your feet onto the floor. If your knees bother you, get a cushion or a pillow. All right, we're going to squeeze your hind end, opening up the hip flexors. Lift your chin, squeeze your hind end, open the arms. All right, very good. Lean it forward. Forehead on your hands. Round it up. Stomach's pulled in. Butt and gut squeezed. And then you can lean back, reach towards your heel and up. Do the other side. Squeeze through here, reach towards your heel and up. Relax. Forehead onto your hands. Sitting back as far as feels comfortable for you. Then tuck the tailbone gently and roll up. Pulling in as much as you can. Butt and gut compressing. Reach it back and up the other side. Push those feet into the floor. Again, reach maybe a little further as you're getting more confidence. And the other side. You really have to squeeze through here. Lift. This will be different. Sit your hips back towards your heels. Stomach's in. Flat back. And if you're struggling with this one and your chest is getting sucked in and your shoulders are rounding, go ahead and try a couple options. This is a good one for your core. See what we were doing. We were sitting back, but you could have one hand here to help you hold that back straight. See, our upper backs are an important part of our core. And if your upper backs are too weak to hold up on an angle, you need to start working on those more diligently. And so this is one way you can start easing into strengthening the upper back. You push down with one, lift with the other. You can also do it from the floor. I've also started with people actually upright against a wall. So, lots of options. You can always send me a picture or a video of yourself to Cassie at movewithcassie.com, and then I can try to, I can look at that and then give you some suggestions. All right. So we're going to lift up one more time. Squeeze your hind end, pull in your belly. One arm up. Reach it to the back. Good. Switch sides. Push those feet into the floor. Two more. One side. And then the other. Good. And sit your hind end back. I'm just going to turn so you can see. You don't have to move. Hind end back. Arms stay by your ears. Don't overarch the neck. Pull in your stomach, okay? Let's put one hand down by your hip. Lift. Squeeze the back, stomach in. Other way. Lift, lift, lift. And let's go all the way down to the floor before we finish up. So, reach two feet back and then roll it down. Hands at your sides. All right, let's just do the legs now, okay? Lift, lift, lift. You can rest your chin on your hands. Flex that foot. Move that leg to one side and to center. Your low back is a really important part of your core, and right now we're working your glutes and your low back. Your glutes are very important to your low back strength. If they atrophy and get weak, it really contributes to low back pain. So if you've got mysterious low back pain and you don't have butt muscles anymore, there's a very big clue. Let's lift the other leg. Lift, lift. See, atrophy is extremely painful. Lift and out to the side. one of the reasons it's so painful is because it creates imbalances in the tension on your joints. The muscles are there to pull in proper ratios against your joints, and when one muscle stops doing its job, the other one has to pick up the slack, and then that puts your joints in the improper positions and you get pain. So lift, lift, lift and relax. All right, we're going to push up. Keep as much of your legs on the floor as possible as you push yourself up for a nice stretch. Not everybody can do this stretch or enjoys it, so do what feels good for you. Everybody's positioned slightly different. All right, now I'm going to let your upper body come down, and if you can reach under your ankles, find a comfortable position, and just a little gentle pull. Good, and roll up out of that. I hope that felt good. If it did and you found some value, please share this with somebody else. Give a thumbs up. And also remember that these classes don't go away once the lives are over. They do stay here on my Facebook page. And you can always get more at movewithcassie.com and also at pbswisconsin.org/quickfit. There are some short versions of these classes there. And in case you weren't here for the beginning before we started the class, this is the last live class that I'll be doing during the mandates to stay home. Our gym will be opening up, we think, this coming Monday, I think it's the 18th, but we still won't be having classes yet, group classes at the gym until June, and we're holding off on the announcement of that date for obvious reasons. So please keep paying attention to your emails and to the Facebook here. And if you have any questions, just please ask me. Cameron and I we need some time to finish doing paperwork at the gym and some other stuff. So I'll miss you guys. See you very, very soon, and stay well.